has anyone here ever been to California? Does anyone here like California? Yes! All right, so I have a couple friends here. All right, since we're talking about courage, we're gonna do something interesting here, and I'm gonna ask someone here to take a step of courage. We're talking about courage. Who's gonna do it? Oh, yes, we have one. Come on up. Come on up. Inspector glasses, inspector overcoat, they have an overcoat, tall hat, top hat. Okay, you are the inspector. You're walking out. Let's hear it. Ready? Play.
If they do not learn, they will learn it in fire and blood and anguish.
Fire and blood and anguish. Yes. Good. So we're talking about courage. Now, there's a certain type of courage it takes to get up and stand in front of other people. In fact, some people say that fear of standing and talking in front of people is stronger than the fear of death. Now, for you, at some point in your life, whenever you decide to take a risk, you will make the decision and you will weigh whether the risk you take, whether you decide to be courageous, if the risk is worth the danger involved, in order to prove your point, in order to save the object that needs saving, or to preserve something, or get the rewards and recognition that you want. Now, sometimes we get rewards and recognition for different things. Sometimes that's a courageous thing for Claire to do. Some things we do are not necessarily courageous. Being different is not necessarily courageous. Being unusual is not necessarily courageous. Being defiant is not necessarily courageous. For example, wear your skirt a little bit high. I hear that happens here. Oh, what? Or you wear nail polish. Hear that happens? Now, I am curious, because I know that the library was just painted yellow. So I'm curious what teachers are going to wear nail polish to match the library. They look like they're matching. Or Mrs. Cowles, I hear she knits her own cardigans. Is that right? So I'm super excited. Mrs. Cowell is going to knit a yellow cardigan for Mrs. Manners, so that when she walks in, she'll match the librarian of sunshine. Now, would it take some courage? Now that I said that out loud, would it take some courage for Mrs. Manners to walk in? Here's my librarian of sunshine knit cardigan from Mrs. Cowell. That could take some courage. But there's a kind of courage, the kind of courage I'm talking about is the courage that you step out for something you believe in, even though you could be risking something. Now, because the Olympics are coming down, is that today? They started it today? They lit the torch today. Okay. Around, so it's going to start the travels. Well, in 1923, there was this guy named Aaron Little. And if you know the story, or you know the movie Chariots of Fire, he was an Olympian. He was a fast runner. He was born in northern China. His parents were missionaries there. They were Christian missionaries. And when he moved back to Scotland, he quickly became known as the fastest runner in Scotland. In fact, he wasn't just a normal runner, but when he would run, it'd be kind of funny because he would just just chuck it along. He would throw his head back and with his jaw down like that. That's how he would run. That's kind of what made him distinguishably different. In 1923, he ran and won the AAA championships, which was the big race at that time. And he set the world record in the 100-meter run for 9.7 seconds. In fact, that record was held for 35 years afterwards. So this is a fast guy. In 1924, when the Olympics came, it was time for him to compete. And he was the favored gold medalist. Everyone knew he would probably be the winner. Now, I think it was held in either Germany or France. And the Olympic Committee said, well, we are going to set up the finals on a Sunday. Well, for Eric, a Christian, at the time, for him to race on a Sunday was something that was contrary to his faith. He said, I love God and I honor God so much because God says I need to set aside my Sunday to honor him. And telling him that he's great, that even though he decided that even though he could win the race, he could probably get the gold medal, he was not going to race on Sunday. He was going to stand up for what he believed in. That's a huge thing. Just think if you had a gold medal within your grasp, and you said, no, I'm convicted. My belief is that rather than have a gold medal, I will stick by my faith. Not many of us, I think, have a faith that's willing to give up recognition, status, reputation, because somebody did. Now, he set that aside. He said, no, I'm not going to run on Sunday. But soon after he made that decision, he found out that the 400-meter run was actually going to be on Saturday. So he had a little bit of time to prepare. And in his preparation, he did a few laps. And when he showed up on the starting date to run, he was actually running against Americans, by the way. So that's kind of exciting. That was kind of neat. So he showed up to run against the Americans, right? And at the starting block, before he's kind of he's doing his stretches, an American runner from the team walks up and gives him a little piece of paper. On the little piece of paper was a verse from the Bible, and it said, it was God speaking to one of his leaders in the Bible. It said, "Those who honor me, I will honor." And that gave Eric the strength and the confidence he needed to take a step of courage and run his heart out. Now, the 400-meter run was actually it was a mid-distance run. Now, usually when that happens, you run hard the first 200 meters, and then you coast the last 100 meters or the last 200 meters. Well, because Eric was a sprinter, he was used to running hard. Like that. He was sprinting, right? Well, he sprinted around the first 200 meters, totally killed the Americans, right? In the first bit. But then, on the later half of the race, they caught up, and it was neck and neck. And to the very end, it was him against the Americans, shoulder to shoulder. Okay? All of his energy was probably gone because he was a sprinter, but he was able to hold it out. And he didn't just win the 400 meters like he would have won the 800 meters. He actually set a world record and ran the 400 meters in 47.6 seconds and won the gold medal. Eric Liddell was a man who stood up for what he believed in. He took courage, even though it cost him something. Even though it may have cost him gossip about him in the papers, bad publicity, and ultimately, he thought it was going to cost him the gold medal. Now, for you in your life, you may be thinking, well, there's nothing I really believe in now. But there will be someday. And if there's not something that you can say, I believe in this, I'm willing to do anything for it, then I would challenge you, if you believe in a God, say, God, show me something I can give my life for. And he'll do it. He'll answer that prayer. Take courage. Take a step of faith. Step out from what you believe in. Now, for one of us in that room, that may be walking up to Mrs. Cal and saying, can you please knit me an iPod case? That'd be great. If that's it, take that step of courage today. But step out for what you believe in. Take some courage.